Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to continue talking about measurement, and we're going to learn about something called direct comparison. So, for direct comparison, what we have to do is we have to look at two objects. I have two pencils here, a blue pencil and a red pencil. And if you look at those two objects with your eyes, you might easily be able to see which object is longer than the other. But in order to directly compare something, we have to make sure that we line up both objects next to each other. So they're starting at the same point to see directly how long or how short they are. This line over here is where we're going to line our objects up. And I'm going to show you how we can do that with some pictures. If you look carefully at this picture, we have lined up our crayons so they're starting at the same point. We have a blue crayon and we have an orange crayon. We can use some words to compare these two crayons. I have the word longer, shorter, and the same. Well, when I'm looking at these objects, I can see that they are not the same size. They do not reach the same point if we're comparing the two of them. The orange crayon is longer than the blue crayon. We can say the blue crayon is shorter than the orange crayon. We line up the objects. In this picture, we're using a line, so both the crayons start at the same point, and then we can directly compare them. When we compare things, we look to see which is longer or shorter or the same. I have a few questions today that we're going to look at and try to solve the problems. The first question says, which sentence describes the objects? And you can see these two objects. We have a pencil and we have a crayon, and we have lined them up so they're starting at the same point. The choices say that the pencil is longer than the crayon. The pencil and the crayon are about the same length. The crayon is longer than the pencil. Let's see which is true. I'm going to use my pen to help us. The pencil is longer than the crayon. So if we're looking at these two objects, we can see that the pencil is longer than the crayon. The pencil touches the line, the crayon does not. The crayon is shorter. So this is true. The pencil and the crayon are about the same length? Not quite. The crayon is shorter than the pencil, and the crayon is longer than the pencil. That is not true. The pencil is longer than the crayon. Here's the crayon, here's the pencil. The pencil is longer than the crayon. Let's look at another problem and directly compare. We have a book bag here and a grape juice juice box. It says, which sentence describes the objects? So what do you think would be our best answer? The backpack is shorter than the juice box. The juice box and the backpack are about the same height, or the juice box is shorter than the backpack. And you can see when we're looking and directly comparing, when we compare something, we look at two objects. We're using this line as our starting point. Both objects are sitting on that line. And if we look carefully, I'm going to draw a line at the top. Oops, my line needs to be a little straighter than that. I'll use my straight line. That will help better. So I'm going to draw a line right at the top of where that book bag is. Now, the backpack is shorter than the juice box. So here's my backpack and here's my juice box. I think the backpack is taller than my juice box. The juice box and the backpack are about the same height. Looking at these two objects, I can see that the juice box is not the same size as the backpack. The juice box is shorter than the backpack. Here's the juice box, here's the backpack. The juice box it does not reach the line. The backpack is taller than the juice box. So the correct answer would be that the juice box is shorter than the backpack. Today we have compared some objects. You are going to get to do some comparing. I have a little form I want you to fill out, and I want you to compare objects and decide which one would be the proper answer. Great work today.